And last but certainly not least, we're doing our featured free game of the day. It's the Sunday night football game. You can check out all of this data that we've talked about up to this point, as well as all of the data that we're using for this. You can go to drf.com/sports and find all of this information. Steelers, Dolphins. Dolphins minus 7.5, folks. Miami gets back Tua, right? They're 3-0 with Tua. They average 28 points per game. They were 3-0 against the spread. They lose Tua against the Cincinnati Bengals early on in that one. And since then, they're 0-3 straight up and against the spread and average just 16 points per game. A massive drop-off without Tua. Pittsburgh on the other side, 2-4 straight up this season, 2-3-1 against the spread. Despite getting to the quarterback a lot last week, we saw it, gave Tom Brady fits. He was cussing out, just absolutely lighting up his offensive line. Despite that, and despite some solid showings, this Steelers defensive line isn't the best at getting to the quarterback. They rank in the bottom third in pass rush win rate and run block win rate. Not run block win rate, run stop win rate. That is a tongue twister if I've ever had one when it comes to NFL stats. But that's to say that they have moments of greatness. I'm looking at you, Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay has a bad offensive line. Don't get me wrong. Tampa Bay's offensive line is banged up with injuries. And Miami's offensive line isn't much better. They're bottom third in pass block win rate. So there's going to be opportunities for the Steelers to get after Tua. I just don't know if they'll be able to consistently do it. And with the addition of Tua coming back, I mean, during those 3 games, they weren't even running out Teddy Bridgewater. They're running out third and fourth string quarterbacks that probably don't need to be on NFL rosters. So not only were they struggling, Mike McDaniel had his hands full trying to scheme open his guys with a third or fourth string quarterback back there. With Tua back, this offense is going to return to its early season form, and I believe they're going to look really good. It is worth mentioning Miami's 0-7 against the spread in October this season and last season. But Mike Tomlin, a little bit more of a sample size, 22-41 after 2 straight unders. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, over this season and last, have had 9 opportunities to cover back-to-back games. They've gone 1-8 against the spread in those games. So Pittsburgh not necessarily the best at continuing to cover. Maybe they can string along wins, but I don't know if they can cover. And today, as +7, I'm not sure they can keep it close enough to hold on and cover this one. And really it comes down to this. Miami's going to score their points, right? Miami's going to get theirs. Miami's offense scores 28 points per game when Tua's in the game. Miami's offense is really good. Miami has Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Tua's going to get his. The Miami Dolphins offense is going to return to form. They only average 22 points per game, but when Tua's in there, 28 points per game. They're probably going to put up 35 plus on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. This is a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that allows nearly 400 yards per game. They average 4.1 yards per rush, 7.2 yards per pass, and this is a Dolphins offense that even with 3 games of Tua and 3 games of terrible quarterback play, still average 7.7 yards per completion. They're going to tear into this Steelers defense, folks. And let me tell you this, I don't think the Steelers offense, and I don't think this is a hot take by any means, the Steelers offense will just not be able to keep up with the Miami offense. Steelers offense averages just 16 points per game, under 300 yards per game, 292 to be exact, and they only average 87 rush yards per game on 24 attempts. Not a good look when you have Najee Harris back there. But with either Kenny Pickett, Mitch, whoever's starting for the Steelers, the Steelers offense will not be able to keep up with Miami's offense. Even if the Steelers defense get a couple turnovers, we saw what happened week 1. Steelers defense had, 5 turnovers, and they still needed a injured long snapper and a missed extra point or mixed field goal in overtime to win that game. Steelers offense is terrible. Steelers offense is trash. Steelers offense is not an NFL caliber offense. They're not keeping up with Miami today. Miami -7, -7.5, depending on your book. Over at DRF Sportsbook, line just came down a little bit. It's Dolphins -7. Maybe the money's coming in on the Steelers. Let's check out where the money is for this game over on drf.com/sports. 60% of the public's on Miami. The money's coming in on Pittsburgh, though, if that line's coming down just a little bit. But it's shaken up because Miami started at -6.5, ballooned all the way up to -7.5, and now it's coming back down. So will be interesting to see what happens with this game when it kicks tonight at 8:20 p.m. Eastern, see where this line ends up, see where the public ends up. But for right now, I'm on Dolphins, -7.5. I got faith in Tua. I have faith in Mike McDaniel that he's a good coach. So give me the Dolphins to cover tonight in Sunday Night Football.